If you've reached a point where your health feels more intentional than optional, or you're thinking more carefully about what you're feeding your family, this video is for you. Most people think improving health means more time, more money, and more willpower. But what if one small habit could give you fresh, nutrient-dense food at home in just 7 days without turning your life upside down? And I will share a secret tip that will get you excited to eat your microgreens. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Hiebel. I've been growing microgreens for over a decade and have helped thousands of people grow fresh, great-tasting food right at home in a way that actually fits real life. Today, I want to show you why microgreens are one of the simplest ways to take control of your health and your family's nutrition, especially in this season of life. And stay until the end, because I'll share a mistake almost everyone makes with microgreens and how to avoid it. If you're anything like the people I work with, you might be noticing things like less energy than you'd like, slower recovery, more concern about ingredients and food quality, or that feeding your family well feels harder and more expensive every year. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. At some point, we stop thinking, I'll deal with this later, and start thinking, I need something I can actually stick with. That's where microgreens come in. Microgreens are young vegetable greens like broccoli, radish, sunflower, or pea shoots, harvested about 7 days after planting. They're not sprouts, they're not a garden, and you don't need land, special lights, or a green thumb. They grow on a countertop with minimal equipment in under a week. And nutritionally, they're one of the most concentrated foods you can grow at home. But the real benefit isn't just nutrition, it's control. Here's what I hear from students over and over again. This is the first health habit that actually stuck. Why? Because microgreens don't require motivation every day, don't demand hours of prep, don't rely on perfect conditions, and don't feel overwhelming. You plant once, you water lightly, you harvest, you eat. That rhythm matters when life is busy. You're responsible for other people, and you don't want another complicated system in your life. This is a supportive habit, not a demanding one. Let me clear up a few things you might be thinking. I don't have time. Once you know the system, growing microgreens takes less than 5 minutes a day. I've tried healthy habits before and quit. That's not a discipline problem. It's a design problem. Microgreens work because they give you a fast win. I don't want to waste money. A single tray can cost pennies to grow and replace store-bought greens that spoil quickly. This isn't about perfection. It's about stacking small wins that compound. 7 days matters, not because it's magical, but because it's believable. Long timelines kill momentum. When you can say, in 1 week, I'll be eating something I grew myself, something shifts. People feel capable again, grounded, and less dependent on the system. And that feeling is often what keeps the habit going. At a high level, here's how it works. Add soil to a shallow tray. Sprinkle seeds. Mist lightly. Cover briefly. Uncover and give light. Harvest around day 7. That's it. No garden beds, no complicated schedules, no guessing. I teach this step by step so it fits into real households, not Instagram fantasy lives. I've worked with thousands of people in all kinds of situations. Busy parents, people managing health concerns, people who thought they couldn't grow anything. And the pattern is always the same. When health feels out of control, simple systems restore confidence. Microgreens aren't about becoming a farmer. They're about reclaiming agency. If this is resonating, if you're thinking, this feels doable, I want to invite you to go deeper. I've created a Microgreens Masterclass where I walk you through exactly what to buy and what not to, the most forgiving greens to start with, how to avoid common beginner mistakes, and how to make this a habit that actually lasts. You can find it for free at ameliaslandmicrogreens.com/101. It's designed for people who want results without overwhelm. Before you go, here's the secret tip I promised, and this matters. Don't start with the healthiest microgreen. Start with the one you'll actually eat. Most people struggle because they choose bitter greens, complicated varieties, or things their family doesn't enjoy. Success comes from familiar flavors, easy wins, and positive reinforcement. When people enjoy the food, the habit sticks. I show you exactly which greens to start with inside the masterclass. If you care about your health, want to feed your family better, and don't want to add more stress to your life, this is one of the simplest places to start. Again, you can access the masterclass at ameliaislandmicrogreens.com/101. You don't need to change everything. You just need one habit that works. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.